has come to an end. It's just being prepared for anything that would come. So if you have money today, how are you saving that for rainy days?
Absolutely.
Yes.
How are you preparing for the rainy days? Because the rainy days will come.
They will come.
One thing is for sure, that, that's just the mix of life, that you will have plenty, you will have lack.
Yeah.
That's just it. So how are you prepared for it? Good one, I think. All right.
But I think we need to go to Botswana. That institutionalized corruption and how they managed to... Nataka kwenda kustudy how they finally managed to get rid of institutionalized corruption.
Okay.
Because if you get that right,
then we'll be good.
We'll be good.
All right.
We'll be good.
I'll have to see to Seme, good morning.
Kabisa.
How is everybody doing today? Thank you for clicking in to the room. Yes, indeed. Our live streams are up on YouTube, Facebook, and on X. We're live on a radio near you, and also our audience on KTN this morning. Everybody, welcome as we get into this conversation for today. Yes, I know there are many things that are being said, many things that are being done. Let's take a moment to say hello to one another, and we'll see your comments where they are through from Facebook on our social media platforms and our handles, Spice FM KE. A very good morning to you, Peter Kiari, tuning from Mombasa. When you're happy, you enjoy the music, but when you're sad, you understand the lyrics. Isn't that just true?
It's true.
Good morning, Robert Mbogo, tuning from Mombasa. And Georgia Dimo is tuned in from Rongo this morning. Tupac Shakur, all eyes are definitely on you, my friend. Karibu Sana, thank you for being here this morning. All eyes on me. Don Salboy is talking about something urgent, and he says 19.8 million to save maternity and maternal health care. Actually, it's 19.8 billion. That's needed to save maternity and primary health care. Ndu anaseto, ask Shah.
Yes.
Ndu, ask Aseto.
Not Shah. Okay.
Not Shah, sorry. Has Shah just collapsed? Remember, Linda Jami survived through Beyond Zero and tiptoed through. Hi, Ndu anaseto.
Has Shah collapsed? I don't think Shah has collapsed. It's individuals who are making Shah not work.
Right.
So let's look for the people behind the scenes. Yes, those people.
Those ones?
Yes.
Somebody who's called Ruto Boy says, is this life? Is what life?
It's this life, man.
Yakundi Emmanuel says, good morning, Ndu and Dennis. Between Matiang'i and Ruto, who has really messed up our education? Just asking. It's a question. Rahim Sula Omar says, good morning from Preston in the UK. I watched a BBC documentary on TZ State enforced disappearances, and the killings during the elections. It's very heartbreaking. It was a tough documentary to watch, actually. Joe Mungai is tuned in from Bonnie Lake. Hello, Spices. In most first world countries, or let's just say developed countries, because what's first and second, public transport is treated as a public service, as it should be.
Yep.
First and a business second. Absolutely. The goal is mobility, equity, and economic productivity for all. Absolutely. It is. I was watching, of course, watching the Premier League, and, the comments said, the folks, it was the match that was played on Sunday between Tottenham Hotspur and Man City, and the folks were saying, you know what, these guys, some of them were starting to leave the stadium, and one of the commentators said, you know what, these guys have traveled quite some distance to come and watch the match, because the Premiership is not showed on. It's not showed on local TV because they want people to come out to the stadium. So they felt, and I thought, and then someone said, well, it's not too long a train ride. So you can imagine that folks are able to hop on the train and go to another town to watch the football. And that's how you talk about the efficiency of a public transport service, which is what we should be aspiring. So I get your point. That was a long-winded way of saying, yes, you're right. He said, Daniel says, good morning, tuning from Uganda. Jimmy Monothi says, good morning, Spice family. Hear all the events and discussions that matter, Kabisa, right here, and let's keep pushing. Tibbs Muge says, good morning, Spice FM. Good morning to you. Bernardo Gamba is tuned in this morning. Can we introduce a brief segment where we give a bouquet to politicians who acted or uttered pro-people statements? Let's start with Kimani Ichung'wah on merging school with small populations. You know what? I agree. And I think that's absolutely something that we must do. Whereby you need to do your job regardless. It's the things have gotten so interesting that when somebody actually steps out and does something which is normal, we want to applaud.
Yeah.
Which, not a bad idea. I hear you though. Not a bad idea at all. Jimmy Monothi says, good morning. He said, Daniel, we see you. Yes. John Mutua, good morning. My TV show greetings from Chef John Doha Tuned. Leo says, good morning. Hello, Princess Ndu. Good morning to you and Aseto. If you plant seedlings worth 55 million shillings, shouldn't there be evidence of even one seedling that has survived the vagaries of nature? Indeed,
yeah.
One, even just one.
That granary you're talking about should have something.
Just one. Even.
Yeah.
I am Benedito says, good morning from Doha, Princess Ndu and Dennis. Very ready for the conversation. Karibu Sana. Eric Oris here. Good morning to you. Good morning, guys. Bernard Odongo says, spice the show by inviting Kimani Shungo. I admired him when he detected the cluelessness in the Ministry of Education. The proposal to merge schools with small populations very strategic. Actually, it wasn't cluelessness he used. No. It was incompetence.
Utter incompetence.
On that, I agree with him.
Yeah.
Christina is tuned in this morning. Good morning to you. Good morning, Ndu Anaseto. Second coming of Jesus is also two-term. Okay. Blasphemy and or manipulation. God help Kenyans. Indeed, may he. A very good morning to you, Simon Kibiru. Michael Olande is tuned in from Kigali. Washo Gatoto says, good morning, Princess Ndu Anaseto. I love how February is going. I'm telling you, it's already the 3rd.
Yeah.
I keep telling you February is not your mate.
Nope.
Moscow now says, good morning, Spice. Please tell these governors that a corrupt county government is like a slow leak in the basement. You don't notice the foundation rotting until you're already underwater. The PAC is meeting, the Senate Committee, Public Accounts, and the things that you hear, actually, you're wondering, somebody pinch me. Where am I to hear things like this? The millions that are being used for things that are frivolous in nature, and then people are still suffering. Then you want to come and tell me that you're going somewhere to another country that starts with S? No.
Even as we look at what Senate is doing, my question remains: where were the MCAs all this time? Who are the primary overseers of how funds are being spent at the county?
Under the table. They're under the granary.
So, our problem is big. Shida yetu nkubwa.
Hey. Hapana. You have to actually just listen to those proceedings that are currently ongoing and listen to the amounts of money that are just going, and there's no and somebody wants to come and give you people in counties do not know what their head count is. You don't know your head count, you don't know how much you're paying.
Nope.
So how do you budget? Yes. What are you doing? You don't know your head count, you don't know how many people you're paying. You use money for things that is not in the constitution.
Why do we need the county assemblies? Why? If they didn't arrest these things at the county level?
Don't know me. I don't know.
Let's go to tujiulize maswali bana. This devolution, itabidi tujiulize maswali.
Jimmy Munuthi says, good morning. Are you still on air? Well, I hope so. Lexi says, oh yeah, good morning everybody. He says, please don't go. We have not gone. We are right here. Relax. Ndu Anaseto, which world leaders would you like to interview and what would you ask them? Which
Trump.
one? You would want to interview Trump?
What's your problem? That would be my only question.
Yeah, okay.
What's your problem?
Okay. Do they have to be alive? If it was, I think there are a number of world leaders that I would love to interview. One of them definitely would be Muammar Gaddafi. I would love to be in a room with him to just pick his brain a little bit and figure out what he really thought about the OAU. I would also love to have a sit down with Kwame Nkrumah, actually. And I think just to understand and put out his vision there. I don't know. Those who are alive, we hear from them.
I'd want to also interview Tom Mboya. His dream of a Kenya that he dreamed at that particular time.
Yeah.
That he was taken out the way he was.
Yeah. If we had one day and one opportunity, I guess those are some of the people that I would want to interview. Okay, well, that's a good question. Jose Mahinda says, good morning, tuned in. And Raphael says, good morning. February with Homa. I am so sorry. Hope you do get better. Raimtula says, indeed, Baba, we miss you. Why did you leave us? Good morning. Tuning from Chude, Mombasa is Dr. Venvik. Kabathe is tuning this morning. Ndu. Okay. Guys. Ndu. Boy. Ndu doesn't have an I. Ndu doesn't have an O. Ndu is a short form of a longer name, but Ndu has 3 letters, N-D-U. I beg. Ezekubundu. But the Ndu is not Ndu. Ndu is Swahili. It's not me.
Hiyo ni yetu.
Hiyo ndio ni yenu. Ndu is me. How do you spell Ndu so badly and then spell it in the next sentence correctly? I don't understand. When music stays, it's called earworms, where music stays in your head. Okay, I didn't know that. Mark Wangi says, good morning, Indu and Dennis. Do you guys receive the memo that corruption was redefined upon devolution? 3.7. Bas. In fact, that is it. Governor of Mbongoma sat in a meeting before the committee, before the office of the Auditor General, and opened his mouth and said, in September, we spent 3.7 million shillings on a Christmas tree.
Yes, in September. Not
In
December.
September.
September.
Even the world famous Christmas tree that stands at the Burj Khalifa, even the one that is in Madison Square Garden that everybody says, wow, does not cost 3.7 million shillings. It doesn't. These are the things I'm talking about. And you said you want to go to where? I beg you should not disturb me.
Christmas tree.
55 million shillings maize and bean seedlings. How much? Should I shout?
Do they all grow?
I'm a soft girl. I shout in the morning.
Seedlings.
55 million
How much did they harvest from that?
Beg you should not disturb us early this morning.
Or they will say, Joeli waka sana 2020.
Then, for me, you know what it is for me? It's the audacity for me. It's the audacity for me that you say, okay, you know what, guys? Tunaweza weka wapi? Tuweke kwa Christmas. Then you say, awatauliza during Christmas. Then you put the thing there. Then you say, just leave it there. Excuse me, Moses Kadrang is not your mate.
No.
They will ask you, excuse me, what did you do?
What did you do?
And then fear did not catch you. Then you went and wrote it down on the paper and said, when it gets to the committee, we'll explain. It's for Christmas after all. Then you spend the money in September. Which Christmas are you people doing in September? Those are the people that Nani should be asking if they're going with him to that place.
Can you imagine if that county spent that 55 million shillings in sinking boreholes, in coming up with a dam in the area that would help farmers to irrigate, so that they are assured that their plants would actually grow because there is availability of water. Just saying.
You're trying to annoy me, Abby.
I'm telling you the truth.
Abby.
But you see me, I'm not a county assembly member. Hizi ndi vitu angeuliza, but anyway. It's ni Kenya. Karibu Kenya.
Joyce, thank you very much. Good morning, my sister. Because this guy here, Dennis, is trying to... I saw the Christmas trio. Ask the guy of Nose how we can buy the KPC shares. Who are in the diaspora. We'll ask the guy of Nose, but okay. Oh, of the NSC. You know, the guy of Nose is someone else. But we'll just keep it moving.
Yeah.
I thought you meant Nose. Jeffrey Yanzala says, good morning. Warm greetings from us here in Atlanta. Looks like the dust is settling in my motherland. Settling to what? Okay. Vintage says, good morning. You're here all ready to go. Fantastic. Cylinders fired, guns blazing. Let's go. Good morning, my good people, says Abdiwel. Hassan, good morning to you. Good morning, my people, says get Kota. Mdu Dennis. Ivi Ibado, a war is here. The shower was not supposed to be UHC. It's campaign money for 2027. And what's waiting to see how it pans out. Greetings from Miami in Florida. Welcome to Miami. Bienvenido a Miami. Rose Emily says, good morning. Being a Kenyan is a job on its own. Sikunjama Sindeo. Okay, we see Mtuflani. Into the song is because you adorned orange today. Uko smart. Asante. Maybe. Sasa said.
I didn't even notice that.
Kutoka mbali.
Salutation.
Veja MD says, great to be back in the Situation Room. Spice FM, Santi Sana. Thank you for being here this morning. Morris Andati says, good morning. My issue with all of these issues is nothing is going to be done. No one will be arrested. No action will be taken. It is true. Unfortunately, it is true.
And that's, anyway, yeah.
Isaiah from New York says, good morning and keep up the good work. Thank you so much. John Limo says, Nakuru Ngata Kirobon, good morning to you. Sospeta is tuning in this morning, listening from Kijabe. And we see all of you. Derek, this is the same governor who bought a wheelbarrow that cost 100,000 shillings.
Oh, yeah.
Made of what? It's the same guy.
Same guy.
By their fruits, you shall know them.
You shall know them.
My God. Wastage at the county, workers have no salary. It's true. This is it. You're buying Christmas tree. They've not been paid. You bought wheelbarrow for 100,000 shillings. People have not been paid. 55 million shillings seedlings. Where are the trees? Where is the beans that you harvested and then you people in the market? Where is the maize seedlings? Maize, was it not maize and beans?
Yes.
Where's the harvest? People should stop carrying us pumpkin.
Chakotubebo Toto.
It's ridiculous. You say you want to go somewhere.
I don't know. Jinga iko.
But this is the
it's
problem.
Just utter nonsense.
It is. But you know what? See, he has finished at the committee. They've made recommendations. See, amerudi Bungoma. Na hiyo story imeisha. Hivo. That 55 million shillings. That's 3.7 million for Christmas tree. It is gone. That is what should make you cry and get frustrated and angry. It is that. It is gone. They've highlighted it. We've seen it. Hiyo imeenda. They say, oh, we recommend that you should be investigated and you should be censured for whatever. Slap on the wrist. Thank you very much. You just keep it moving to the left. To the left. Because nothing happens after that. You think Ken Lusaka is worried that he's going to wake up tomorrow and then there's a censure from senators in terms of an oversight for what the Christmas tree he spent money on? No. He's gone back to Bungoma, a happy camper.
Are people of Bungoma asking themselves, fine, 3.7 million shillings on a Christmas tree, how did that benefit us as the residents, as the electorate who donated this power to you? Are they asking themselves, 55 million shillings for seedlings, raise rice and, is it rice? No, they don't have rice. It's beans and maize, right? What's the harvest? Where's the harvest? Who benefited from all this?
TikTok.
So if the residents themselves are not asking these tough questions, the reason why we see all these guys walk out. Because, if it's gotten to a point where I think as citizens, as Kenyans, we must stand up and ask these questions because County Assembly is not doing it. Senate will do its job. They will give recommendations. Who picks that recommendation from there? Is it EACC? Is it ODPP? How do Kenyans get back their money?
People are telling us that the same county that spent money on the Christmas tree and the wheelbarrow was over 10 years ago. This is the thing. It doesn't matter. If they spent the money in the manger where Jesus Christ was born. The point is that we see the same behavior repeated over and over again. And if it was done in 2000 BC, it's still being done in 2026 AD. And nothing is going to be done about it. I bet you, my bottom dollar.
The saddest part is
nothing is going to be done about it.
Whether you spend, especially, it's even sad that at the time when you spent 100,000 shillings to buy a wheelbarrow, back then, how much was 100,000 shillings if you compared with inflation rates today? How much would that money have done back then?
You guys.
So it's a bigger conversation than what we're just saying. It is 10 years ago. Okay, sawa.
It doesn't matter if it was 10 years ago or 100 years ago. It doesn't matter. It's the same principle. And this is what we're talking about. Let me tell you something. You see the story. If somebody is brought to book, if somebody is made to pay for this thing that they did, I'll shave my head. I swear. I shave my head. If somebody, and I have very long hair, somebody is made to pay for this thing that we see, and somebody is brought to book, they go do the investigations, I shave. Mark it.
And I say
Mark it. I've said it today. I shave my head.
If no one is brought to book, I will take you to the salon to plait that hair.
I shave my head. Bald like this.
I will take you for salon, man. We know what will happen.
I'm telling you.
So yeah.
I said it. I shave my head. I'm serious. That is what I'm telling you. That I've grown my hair for the last how many years?
And then you want to go where?
Like Samson, Delilah, that story.
Where do you want to go?
I'm telling you that the likelihood of them prosecuting somebody over the loss of this money is so low that I can promise to shave my locks. What are we talking about? I beg you, Joe. Let's look into the headlines. And let's start on Kenya's...
But Kenyans, that's your country.
Yeah. Kenya's bold newspaper, The Standard. The one-term plan is what's there. We're given fresh details have emerged on how former Nigerian President Olusegun Obasanjo is brokering a truce between ex-President Uhuru Kenyatta and former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua to form a united opposition against President William Ruto. In 2027, multiple sources say the plan took shape. Oh, wait, let's just use punctuation. Let's start again.
Yes.
Fresh details have emerged on how former Nigerian President Olusegun Obasanjo is brokering a truce between ex-President Uhuru Kenyatta and former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua to form a united opposition against President William Ruto in 2027. Full stop. Multiple sources say the plan took shape at a meeting in Nigeria attended by Wiper leader Kalonzo Musyoka, where the leaders agreed on the need for a single formidable challenger. Plans are now underway to make it happen. Let's see. While that's going on, the state has moved to avert clashes as migrant herders pour into Isiolo. Isiolo is the place now where they found there's some food for their flock, and they've decided to fight. There are very few conflicts that have taken place on the face of the earth that are not over resources.
Yeah.
Very few. In fact, the majority of them are resource conflicts. Take your pick.
That is
Look
such
anywhere.
a sad and painful image.
It is. It's very sad. We're looking at animals strewn along the hillside there. They've died because, the drought in northern Kenya has left many, many animals, scores of animals dead. Yesterday, city commuters were stranded amid Matatu dispute, and they've said that on the 9th of February, they'll be back and they will strike again if their demands are not met.
Do you know Kenya is the only place where the government has not invested in taking its people to work and taking them back home? I don't know how a government that expects to get taxes from its people who are supposed to go to work is not concerned on how these people are getting to work at an affordable rate and taking them back home using a system that is trusted, a system that is predictable, and a system that actually works.
Even in Nigeria, you go on your own. If you want to fly, if you want to walk on the road, if you're in Lagos, you want to cross Third Mainland Bridge, it's up to you.
I don't get it.
I don't get it. Then I don't know that Solomon is doing anything now. We have a problem, and those are the basic things that we talk about.
Things.
If you're looking towards development and you don't have a basic public transport system that works, there's no. See, where
do you want to go?
Where do we want to start?
Unaona hata pa Kituyo na way to Singapore tufiki.
Did you not hear somebody saying yesterday that as you're going to Singapore, you're going to pass through Canaan? No. As you're going to Canaan, you're going to pass through Singapore. And that's when I realized our problem is that we missed a geography. Our problem is that we missed a geography lesson. Or all of them.
Singapore is on our way to Canaan. Okay.
Yeah. It's just that we are passing Singapore. Some things you should just not say out loud.
I know.
Don't let us know how you think. Please, it's okay. You go and find out who it is that said that. Opposition unity, Obasanjo meets Uhuru and Kalonzo. And just in case you're wondering, pay slips are shrinking as new NSSF rates take effect. I'll tell you what those are in a bit. Hey, God. Schools struggle to teach Pioneer Class 10 without textbooks. Well, I can see how that would be.
Yeah.
I can understand the struggle. If you don't have the book, how is it that you're going to teach the thing?
Yeah. Have they started printing?
They released 5.6 billion shillings
to pay debt
in January for the printing of books.
To pay debt.
So now half term is coming up in 3 weeks. Half term.
Oh no.
Yes, my dear darling. And then you're going to test them. Assessment. Okay, you're going to assess them.
Continuous assessment.
Yeah. We don't use testing anymore. So I wonder, what are you going to test them on? Let's look into the sky.
What have they been studying?
You know the way manna fell from heaven? Yeah, manna fell from heaven and then covered the earth. That is how knowledge is going to fall from the sky. As you teach them, then they're going to go and as they do their preps, it'll be covered with knowledge from heaven.
Why are you even talking about manna? You know what they expect to do when those textbooks come? Children will do
Put
this.
Put it on their head.
And knowledge will come.
What is that process?
Yes.
Osmosis.
Is it diffusion? That one.
Something.
You know.
Yeah. I'm telling you, we're operating in a very magical sphere. If people don't know, we are in the mystical world.
That's so sad.
World.
That's so sad, actually.
Rubbish. We're having a conversation at 9:00. Stakeholders want sharp payment list made public for transparency. I'm a stakeholder, and I think, you know what? Tell us what's going on. There are many things that are hidden. PSC chair nomination sparks legal firestorm. Okay. Inside the 7. I'm stopping.
Just good.
No. And we're just on page 10. Wololo. Inside 72.8 million Kazi Maju scam that left over 360 youth stranded.
Hey.
Did somebody say Gloria Orwoba? Did she shout about this thing at some point? Gloria Orwoba. There's a story on
Madam
page
G.
10. Auntie
There's
G.
something you saw.
There's a story on page 10. Inside 72.8 million shillings Kazi Maju scam that left over 360 youth stranded. My God. Court extends orders halting 6 billion shilling NYS ghost tender payments. I can see why.
Okay.
Those are just a few of the stories in your bold newspaper today. Because what? Get a copy of the e-paper or get a copy of the Standard as you go about your business today.
Yep.
And we'll look into some of the stories in details.
Remember, you can equally get that on e-paper as well and on the website as well. So, Kenya's loans burden has risen to over 12 trillion shillings and higher than the recommended ceiling. Now, how 1 trillion shillings embodied debt will hit you. Mbadi. The government projects to borrow 1 trillion shillings from the local market.
Of course.
Local. Which is nearly the entire 1.1 trillion shillings budget deficit for the 2026-27 financial year. This is bad news for the private sector, since businesses whose pool of financiers is shrinking fast will struggle even more to secure credit, as most lenders, including commercial banks, opt to loan the government with an eye on guaranteed repayment and higher consistent returns. Kenyans, polini sana. So, we're talking about debt. So, President Moi, his foreign debt was 394 billion shillings. Local debt was 236 billion shillings. Now, Kibaki composition about 50-50 between domestic and foreign travel. His total debt was 1.8 trillion shillings. Uhuru Kenyatta, 8.7 trillion shillings. And roughly split 50-50 between external and domestic borrowing. And President William Ruto, foreign debt, 5.5 trillion shillings. Local debt, 6.5 trillion shillings. Nabado. And remember, this debt is coming at a time. So that means if you're a business, if you're an entrepreneur in Kenya, if you want to go get debt, it will be really, really expensive, because local banks are prioritizing giving debt to government because it is guaranteed. Singapore.
I see you.
State sued over chaotic border rain amid Matatu strike. State sued. Okay. Your job is safe, Oburu tells Kindiki over power sharing talks. ODM leader Buru Genga says ODM UDA pre-election coalition talks will focus on fair and balanced sharing out of government positions. So, Mr. Kindiki, usijali na number 2, that is yours. We are looking for other positions. We must be in government. CBE, the bold dream that turned into a nightmare. When the government unveiled the new education curriculum, it was billed as a bold departure from rote learning to a learner-centered revolution to nurture skills, now creativity and critical thinking, an end to the high-stakes exam-oriented 844 regime until cracks emerged. What are some of the cracks? Investment into the education system is lacking. Now, Landmark CBA gives clinical officers salaries of up to 338,000 shillings.
See what?
Yes, Landmark CBA, the clinical officers signed a CBA agreement that will see clinical officers get up to 338,000 shillings in salaries. So Peterson and group, including the clinical officers, are happy. Okay. Lawyers sue state over unchecked motorcycle taxi chaos, and cautious optimism as Kenya poised for moderate growth.
Okay.
So we're also just looking on the other stories. SHA blamed for delayed treatment of injured teachers. SHA, teachers. Teachers don't get textbooks, they are attacked. But then again, even when they are hard to go to hospital, SHA is delaying, so you're not getting services on time. CBE shine dimmed by policy and planning flaws, and Kanjama unveils vision to transform LSK. We know LSK will be having its election in March.
Yeah.
Yes, and many lawyers who want to be the president or the leadership of LSK are doing everything to ensure that they do that. And Uhuru and I to blame for making Ruto Mount Kenya darling, says Gachagua.
Okay.
Blame us. Blame us.
Really? All right.
Makosa ni yetu.
Of course, it's our fault. We take it.
Tuangalie this time.
So there's a story at the bottom of the front page of the Star. Counties bleed billions as top officials flout procurement laws. You can basically do whatever the hell you want, and nobody's going to ask you questions.
No.
You'll sit before a committee, they'll grill you for hours, and then you'll go back home. And then you'll have a dinner and a drink to kind of wash away your bad day. And then you'll wake up in the morning as though nothing happened. Billions are down the drain. And then you wonder how development does not occur. It's a no-brainer, genius.
There will never be any development. And it's that simple.
Apondo Tuko.
Yeah.
Now, let me make you laugh.
Let me laugh.
The IEBC wants sweeping reforms ahead of 2027. Sweeping. This is the same IEBC for which their commissioners were at polling stations on the day of the by-elections in different parts of the country. Whether it was Magarini, whether it was Nairobi, in different constituency polling centers or other parts. There is a law that states you should not be in the vicinity as a state official and or a politician. I don't know what reforms that we're looking at here, but let's give them the benefit of the doubt. They're saying in order for these things to happen, they need to be not just reforms, but sweeping reforms ahead of 2027. Well, get to going because you have less than a year. They're also seeking clearer definitions on nominations, revised timelines for processes. Kind of like when can you stop campaigning? By when must you have done 1, 2, 3? And this information to be very clear to everybody. Look, like I said, let's give IEBC the benefit of the doubt. Nespa? Let them tell us these sweeping reforms and if they will actually be abided by. Abided by. Abode by.
Abode. That one.
Abidden by. Iyo yote by.
Wazingatie.
Yeah. So that should be fun because that's what the IEBC wants to make sure that they do. Sawa, sweeping reforms for 2027, go. Let's go. And it looks like...
the elections is clear on campaign time, right? Campaign period.
Yeah, but then they're seeking clearer definitions. Okay. So the ones that they're just clear.
So the ones that
they have right now are just clear. They need them to be clearer.
Okay.
All right.
So you need sanitizers and wipeout. Okay.
A judge hands a man accused of murder 15 years in jail. Ugenya MP David Ochieng on power, zoning and MDG party's 2027 election plan. It's interesting that he's not talking about the merger with UDA, but I don't know. If there are clouds, perhaps it will rain. Inside Odinga's House of Fiery Independent Minds, that's a story that's also being looked at there. And food crisis as Kenya faces worst dryness in 45 years. It's not pretty out there, guys. Just the pictures that are telling 1,000 stories. It is not pretty out there. There are people who are suffering. They are hungry. And not just hungry today, they've been hungry. And this is the worst of it. The rain doesn't look like it's coming anytime. And if it does, it's not going to be a problem that will be solved tomorrow. So there need to be mitigating measures for these extenuating circumstances. And it needs to be taken seriously because people are dying. And if they die on your watch, are you complicit? All right. So, because why not? Let me just irritate you a little bit.
Kinda.
Pay slip shrink as NSSF new rates take effect. Millions of Kenyans employees will see their take-home pay shrink this end month when the fourth and final phase of the National Social Security Fund pension contributions take effect. A move, employers warned, will squeeze workers who are already grappling with a high cost of living. The Federation of Kenya Employers said the mandatory hike, while supporting the long-term savings, presents a significant issue for disposable income amid concerns of a mounting burden from multiple statutory deductions. I quote from Jacqueline Mugo, who is the FKE Executive Director and CEO. FKE supports the enhanced contribution rates as they are embedded in the contribution plan and projections. At the same time, the new NSF rates were introduced. This is fun. You know why? Because they say it's in the act. It's in the law. Why is it that we're so quick to follow the law when it looks at how you're going to squeeze people? But when it comes to following the law, like procurement, for example, at the county level, or that don't steal Kenyans' money at the national level.
Prudent use of resources.
Of taxpayer.
3.7 million shillings.
Nobody is ever encouraging that. Nobody ever says, I want to sit at my desk today and I want to encourage the prudent use of funds.
Funds.
And the proper enactment of the law. Nobody ever says that, but
Yeah.
people actually say, you know what? I actually want to encourage you to embrace this enhanced rate. They call it enhanced, not
Enhanced,
increased.
yes.
These enhanced rates that will enable you to see 1, 2, 3, blah, blah, blah. I'm just saying, if it's good for the goose, it best be good for the gander.
gander.
So, and that, just be knowing that at the end of February, things be looking a little bit tighter. Over to you, Sawan. You wanna share?
When the government introduced the competency curriculum, CBC, it was hailed as a shift from rote learning to a learner-centered model aimed at fostering skills, creativity, and critical thinking. The vision was ambitious to replace the examination-focused 844 system with a competency-based education that prioritizes talent, self-reliance, and critical thinking. For the 1.13 million pioneer learners who recently joined senior school in grade 10, however, the promise has faltered on multiple fronts. In late 2018, former Education Cabinet Secretary Amina Mohammed said the country's readiness for CBE stood at just 56%, citing teacher shortages and poor infrastructure. She warned that a rushed rollout would undermine the curriculum's success. Her concerns were largely ignored. Soon after, Ms. Mohammed was moved to the Sports Ministry, and the late Professor George Magoa took over, overseeing early CBE implementation until late 2022, when the new government took office. Everything Amina Mohammed said is happening today. We rushed into the system. We never understood it. We never really took time to see what was needed for the CBE to be a success. The chickens are home to roost.
And they're roosting proper.
Proper.
Because what?
Proper.
It just is. So we opened school on the 6th of January.
6th of January, yeah.
And grade 10s went to school the week after, the 12th,
yeah.
Of January. Today is the 1st of February. So grade 10s have been in school for 3 weeks, and not one page of a textbook has flipped in their direction.
As we speak today, there are still those who are still enrolling.
Yeah.
Due to different challenges here and there.
I'm hard-pressed to find the reasoning. It's like the woman who's been pregnant for 9 months and is aware that she's pregnant. And then on the day when the baby is delivered and she's like, oh, there's a baby.
Oh my God.
Perhaps I need to buy a diaper or two, or maybe clothe the child. I don't know. That's what we're talking about. Good morning, folks. 7 a.m.
Sugar is my